Hi, I'm Will Alford, and this is the Alford Method. The Department of Homeland Security and Customs and Border Protection now require licensed customs brokers to obtain 36 credit hours of continuing education every 3 years. My business idea is to provide the required trainings to companies and individuals either in person or via teleconference. This is a niche market. There are approximately 16,000 active customs brokers operating in the United States. This is a unique opportunity for three reasons. One, it's a new requirement, so the market's not flooded with companies offering these services. Two, new requirements mean confusion. It's a prime time to solve people's problems before they become a problem. And three, time. This goes into effect technically in 2024, but it will not be officially required until 2027, which allows me the time to properly set up the company, get customers, understand needs, and be up and running by the time they go into effect. It also gives me time to get accredited by the government and to figure out all the details that go along with that. And so, with that said, let's move into the module four business model analysis, end user demand and evangelism. So, how do you create end user demand? So, one, get accredited. Two, push the new requirements, advertise my business. And by push the new requirements, I mean reach out to as many people as possible and say, look, this is a requirement. If you don't do it, you're going to lose your broker's license. And I get into that a little bit later on, but I'll just leave it at that for now. And obviously, with advertisement business, there's a lot of different ways to do that. Web, search engine optimization, which I've listed there, get listed on government sites, word of mouth, and then just talk to companies and talk to people. I think there's a lot of demand out there for this. Maybe it's not quite there yet, but once these requirements come down the pipeline, people are going to be wondering how they can get this done. So I want to be ready to go once, before those questions start coming up from most people. And how does this differ on the web versus other channels? So for the web, I'll have to invest in search engine optimization and a quality website. These will be critical for the web portion of the business. And then when it comes to other channels, advertised through online and offline publications, there's some well-known trade-related newsletters out there that I can get a part of, or create my own newsletters, make phone calls, mailers to companies, things like that. Just really go out and uh, find customers. And then there's evangelism versus existing company need or category. So this is a new market with limited customers. So I have to embrace evangelism and preach the business out there to whoever will listen. So I'm thinking just I'm reaching out to individuals, reaching out to companies. I think it'd be nice to have a few companies sign up, at least at first, just to have you know several people in one spot that I can sell to. So I think that'd be good. But yeah, basically have to get my name out there, have to get Alford Method out there, or else it's not going to work. I need to have enough customers to make it profitable. All right, so general marketing and changes. So changes to the value propositions, what that should say. So marketing campaign, what worked best and why? Well, basically, people want a simple solution to this new problem. So people might not be thinking about it yet, but they're going to be thinking about it, and it's something that there are no solutions there yet. So being one of the first businesses to have the solution is going to be really huge for this. And I think having a web presence will be huge for the marketing campaign, social media presence, just places where people are looking already. Uh, because people are lazy. I'm one of the lazy people in this world. Uh, you know, people are rational. I think that's what the All In book said. People don't do things that make sense sometimes. So I just want to make sure that I'm somewhere where people are comfortable and sneak into their purview, maybe LinkedIn, just other places like that. But definitely also maybe some old fashioned mailers and just phone calls just to see what I can do. And I think getting the government listing would be huge for that. So I'm working on that angle as well, just so at least my business name will be out there for people who are like, how do I get my how do I get my continuing education credits? Like, well, there's a guy's name on there. Let me see what he's doing, and just have a good website up. All right. So did anything change about the value proposition, customers, users, or channel? Not really, but I do think that to be successful, I need to acquire a good amount of individual customers and onboard some companies with multiple licensed customs brokers on staff, and that's a big deal. And I guess for the value proposition too, um, an option is to provide additional services. So bring more people onto the site, and have a service that they need, and that builds customer loyalty, repeat customers. I go into this a little bit more during the sales funnel slide, so I'll leave it at that for now. All right, other to do, aka get out of the building, and summary of interviews. So spoke with 11 customers. I asked non-leading questions just because I'm trying to find out what people want, what's going on out there, and now I have more insight on what resources customers currently use for related updates. So I was mentioning earlier about some of the newsletters people get. Not everyone gets the newsletters, but some people do. There are some big name training sites out there that some other people use, but there's still a lot of confusion out there, and there's not really a lot of buzz on the street, if you will, about these continuing education credits. So I think that's actually advantageous for me that this isn't getting a lot of the buzz that some of these other things that are going on in the world of international trade. So I like it staying under the radar for now, and I'll just start you know doing media blitzes, if you will, on social media and things like that. Just so maybe if 10 licensed customs brokers see it, one of them will click on it and see what's this guy talking about. So just playing the odds here, and then yeah. But basically, everyone's just kind of waiting for official announcement regarding the continuing education requirements. And I do see an opportunity to inform people of the continuing education credits, and remind them that they are required to keep their these are required in order to keep their broker's licenses. And I'll tell you that losing their license is a big deal to licensed customs brokers, because they will have to take the broker exam again. This test is notorious for being difficult to pass. I know that I've seen pass rates of like 1%, 3%, 5%. The good ones like 10 or 15% of pass rate. So people hate this test. Some people have taken the test like 7 times, failed it each time. It's a real pain. And so this fear of having to take your broker exam again is a real migraine problem for my customers. All right, so CBP request for information update. So I brought this up last week that I saw that the CBP is requesting information from people to see what the accreditation process should look like, and how this should go. So my responses have been, you must be a licensed customs broker for Customs and Border Patrol protection. Trainings, experienced professionals for partner government agencies. So partner government agencies, things like FDA, for example, is a partner government agency. There's a ton of them, but just use one that's well known. So they're going to also have trainings that can be included in this. And so I think for myself personally, having people that are at least familiar with the topics, have worked in these types of settings, I think that'd be a smart idea for the government to have people like that training people. And I also have this experience, so I guess I'm being a little selfish there, but allow in-person teleconference training. So make sure people can, do it online. People can, be in person in addition to just like web-based learnings. Then access to materials. So for whoever gets accredited, that the government at least provides the resources for the information that they want on the trainings for people to be able to pass. And so just make sure that can be, if the government already has it ready to go, great. If not, then at least like these are the things we're working from. And so these can be modified to each accredited business's needs, and then also can be reproduced by the businesses themselves. But then also partner government agencies such as FDA allow individuals with experience credentials with each PGA to receive accreditation. So that was what I just said a second ago, but there you go. So we'll wait and see. The government is notorious for taking as long as possible for these things, so we'll see. Hopefully, it'll come back quickly though. But I'll provide an update next week if I find out a solid time frame for when they are going to respond to these requests for information with their final rulings. All right, so sales funnel, creating viral loops. So I tried to make the funnel through PowerPoint, and it just did not. You could not read anything on it. So we have this instead. But imagine it's a funnel, if you will, with the keep customers being the part where it gets real tight, and then it goes back up at upsell. So acquire. So create the website, get accredited by the government. Social media nets, if you will, of just blast those. Offer free trials to people, search engine optimization, get top of the Google list, blog or newsletter. Um, you know, I like newsletters. I see a lot of newsletters that are good, but they're super long and include lots and lots of things. So I think having a target a newsletter in this industry, in this particular uh, business, might be a great idea. Actually, just to say, hey, these are coming up. Because if you're a licensed customs broker, you read it, you might actually keep reading it. If it's like, hey, this applies to you. If you're someone who's doing something else, you probably won't read it. And that's what I feel about these newsletters that have lots of information on there. Just like, I don't have time to read all this, even though it's interesting. So I think I might have found something with that portion, actually, just looking at all the newsletters I can find. And then also social media, just yeah, blasting it away on there. And then get evangelists for the site, for the business, and also spread the word myself. Get all the building, go through web and physical channels as well. Go to businesses, call businesses, send information to businesses. I believe in the All In book, they were, I forgot the exact process they used, but basically write an email, call again, write another email, whatever it is, and just get people at least talking to you, get someone talking to you, and try to get them on your side at least. And then I will also lean heavily on the requirements. The requirements being like you have to take these continuing education credits or you will lose your license. I think that's going to be kind of my uh, fire and brimstone type of speech. They're like, hey, this is serious. You really need to do this. But hey, this guy can, the Alford method can take care of that for you. So just get somebody in the door and just let them see the site, let them see what we're offering, and then activate. Hey, new customers get 1 credit free if you commit to 3 credits. Something like that. Like, hey, there you go. You have to get 36 of these. Give me a shot. Here's buy 3 get 1 free, and if you're not satisfied, then we can talk about that. Keep customers, provide good service, keep things simple, referrals and loyalty bonuses. Customer surveys, definitely have to keep the customers providing feedback, especially at the beginning, make sure that everything's there. Or if they say, hey, this other site is way better than yours and this is why, then got to improve my business. Upsell, have customers commit to longer term plans like 1 year, 3 years, total course credits, or in-person webinars, or group trainings. Say, hey, I see you've been using this. Cool, great, thank you. But here's some other things I can offer you. Next sell, offer loyal customers deals on longer term plans, group discounts, repeat buyer discounts, have some contests. Just have a little bit of fun with it as well. Maybe make the trainings kind of fun too, where there are contests involved, where there were people like, hey, I took this guy's class and it was actually kind of fun, which is can be tough with some materials, but I think that you can at least make the environment fun, and I tend to thrive in those type of situations. Cross sell. So during phase 1 of the business, find out other pain points for my customers and add those services. So I do have a wide array of experience, and I know a lot of people who do too. So I think it's like I put all in here for the referencing the book, but basically keep finding out data from the customers before you add it. So I think I'm going to stay laser focused on the training idea for these continuing education credits. But in order to make the business truly successful, I think I'm going to have to add other services on there. But before I commit to those, might as well just ask the customers themselves. And that way I have the same customers coming through from multiple products and then some new customers coming from other products as well. And then referrals, offer referral bonuses, communicate frequently with loyal customers, make sure it serves where it is, should be. And then, those people they refer get special deals too, at least at first. All right, so the business model canvas is essentially the same. I won't even worry about going through it right now. It's just I'm getting more and more laser focused on the idea of the continuing education credits. I'm very excited about it. I think there's actually a chance this could work, so that's making me happy. Oh, that's it. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. I'm trying to keep it below 15 minutes, and yeah, I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing everyone else's presentations. Have a good weekend.